Well, there is a new and highly anticipated book out today about the former Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and those in the know suggest the couple likely cooperated with its authors. The book's called Finding Freedom, and it details everything from Harry and Meghan's courtship to their decision to leave the royal family. Among the more interesting details, Harry and his brother, Prince William, were barely speaking to one another before the Duke and Duchess left the UK for good back in March. A spokesperson for the couple says they did not contribute to the book in any way. Royal commentator Richard FitzWilliam joins me now with more. Richard, I'm going to start with a question on that last point. Do you think that Harry and Meghan had something to do with this book?
Well, I mean, quite honestly, we know that Harry and Meghan are obsessed, and rightly obsessed, with privacy, and also for their son Archie. And they have been for years. To pretend that, well, unofficially they say, or officially they say they had nothing to do with the book. They say they didn't endorse the book or give an interview to the authors who are known to be close to them. All the information in the book, as far as I can see, and it includes all sorts of intimate details, what happened when they first met in a great deal of detail and so forth, it must have come, and this is admitted, from their inner circle, their close friends. Now, how on earth does a book which is sourced pretty well entirely from your close friends, or so I understand it, how on earth could such a book be produced without the principals knowing? It's mainly hagiographic about Harry and Meghan, so it would be perceived that this is their side of the story. My point is, why did they have to tell it, and why did they have to tell it now?
Well, yes, and coming full circle to your point about wanting privacy, why would they want those details shared?
Because they believe they were badly treated by the royal family. Harry felt he was in front, I quote, of a firing squad when he was negotiating how they stepped, what eventually turned out to be stepping down, which they didn't want to. They wanted to step back. The point is that they are very talented and they have a huge global reach, but they're also very selfish and very controlling, and they don't have a nous, as far as I can see, for public relations. That is why, for example, at the end, their public relations office was in Buckingham Palace. They wanted it independent. They wanted to be independent. Fair enough, they now are relatively independent, with Prince Charles obviously propping them up until they can be financially independent, and of course the pandemic is a problem. But the book is cruel to William and Kate. That was unnecessary.
Okay, and I wanted to ask you about that, because if things were already sour between the two brothers, if there was bad blood already there, what is this book going to do for their relationship going forward?
It will most certainly not help. Meghan found Kate distant. She didn't extend the hand of friendship. This was evident, by the way, the distance between the couples at Commonwealth Day, which was very badly organized. You shouldn't see, even if there is a frisson between royals, you shouldn't be able to see it or think you see it on television, which was the case here. But it's the tragedy of the brothers, particularly, as they were so close before. The idea that William was in some way snobbish by trying to caution Harry against being too quick regarding his relationship with Meghan, I'm sure it isn't what he meant, and I don't think most people would think it was, even if the quote ascribed to him is true, which we don't know. The problem with this book, quite honestly, is that it is not a serious book. It is a gossipy journal, and a historian in future will be able to put a totally different view, probably, and, you know, questions like, did Kate cry during Princess Charlotte's bridesmaid fitting for Meghan and Harry's wedding? The book says no, we'd previously thought she did. Issues such as that, they've been blown up in the past into rumors. That doesn't mean they're true, but I don't necessarily trust what I read in this book because of the closeness of the authors to Harry and Meghan.
Okay, so given all of that, my last question for you today then is, do you expect Buckingham Palace to respond in any way to this new book?
Absolutely not. Buckingham Palace quite very, very sensibly have adopted the traditional royal approach: don't explain and don't complain with reference to the book. I would add, incidentally, that Harry and Meghan thought that all the articles or things about them that they didn't like, that there should be some sort of palace response to them. That's the worst thing you can do, especially when you've got appalling racist trolls on Twitter, when you've got some articles which are grossly irresponsible. Never feed sensation. But this book, to some extent, has equally. I don't think that its result will be a complete burning of the bridges. Quite the contrary. It's very complimentary about the Queen and about Prince Charles. So maybe, who knows, in the future, let's hope there's some form of coming together.
Let's hope. Richard FitzWilliam, royal commentator, thank you so much. Great to see you.